I'm going to drop a deep lore intro here. My sleep schedule has been off for a little bit, so I'm like staying up as to get it back on schedule. So I'm very tired and I'm recording this now because this is when thoughts are, and I have no self-judgment as to tell when to not do bad ideas right now. Not that I have that normally. Okay, so the thing is, last couple of weeks, I've not been very motivated, not been feeling the energy juices and stuff. I have, right now, 2 novels basically completely ready to go. One is ready except for it needs a cover. One is ready except for I need to edit the last 2 chapters. So it's like yin and yang, but nothing like that at all. So those are both done and ready to go. And then another book in one of the series is also halfway done, which needs like 30,000 more words. It has like 30k words right now. It's just like very long for some reason. Why are things long? Why do things take time? So that's where I'm at with that. But I'm feeling a lot of crazy juices with either series right now. One of them is just kind of like a slogged write in general. The other one like flows naturally and flows well. It's just that specifically right now, it's just like not clicking for me. While I've been a little bit out of it, this morning I had an idea for another series, which I do have ideas for a series like on a consistent daily basis. But this one was a good one. So I've been thinking about it and I've been working on it a little bit throughout the day, and it's coming together relatively satisfyingly and seems like it would be a pretty easy, decent write. So I kind of am at a bit of a impasse. Boy, can you tell it's been a while since I have recorded anything and that I am very tired? I've almost been awake for 24 hours straight. This is very, very nice time indeed. The thing is, I have 2 series that aren't going to be short. They're going to be medium length. They're not going to be long. They're just going to be medium length and going to take some time. The thing is, I just don't know. Like, I know how much time they're going to take as, like, raw hours. It's just I don't know how long it's going to take me to put those hours in. And again, like, if I have, like, peaks and valleys in, like, motivation, work ethic, and such, they can take longer or shorter to come out. And that is problematic, especially if there's, like, if anything comes up that does take a lot of time away from working on these projects and makes them more prolonged, if there's a hitch in the road somewhere and that pushes them further back or pushes out how much time I can invest in them. That is a distinct possibility whenever you're working on any type of large-scale project like this. And a novel is like a relatively small-scale project, I'd say, especially since you can like, it's the amount of hours it takes to put into one. It's just, it's on a smaller side of scale things. The amount of hours it takes is like more than like a YouTube video, but it's like less than many other things you could potentially be doing. Like a small animation would take way longer than a novel would take. But a novel series, like a medium-length novel series, will still take like a decent amount of time. And that's why I'm hesitant to say I kind of want to work on a entry to a 3rd novel series. And I feel like that is correct. I feel like I should always work on something that I have an immediate spark for, and I should just work through it as long as I have that initial motivation there. And more than that, having those options to bounce around with will help a lot when I'm worn out working on the hard slog one, and when I might not just be like in the right frame of mind to write the easy write. To have something that's just like simpler that I can just like fall back on or switch to, or just have a bunch of things I can throw in the air and like dart between, I think is better for how I work as an artist, and has always been how I've been able to like do other forms of content consistently. And when I've switched to like more streamlined, more focused, just like one type of content, I've been slower, right? Like having a bunch of different things to juggle and switch between. I'm actually faster at doing that than focusing on just one thing at a time. And for that reason, along with I think having like a decent amount of diversification at the start and having a bunch of series started, I think could be very solid because of the fact I know that eventually I'm just going to start steamrolling through some of this work. Right now, it's kind of slow. It's kind of like the gears are turning. I'm not getting a lot of stuff done. But if I get through a lot of those like initial time investments and time constraints and I get to the point where like I'm going to get a good work state, I know I can blow through multiple novels in a fairly short amount of time. So like keeping that in mind, having like multiple series isn't necessarily like a daunting thing to do. It's just something that I would have to like keep on top of. And that's the thing, I don't exactly know how well I'd be able to do that. No, I don't want to say lack of experience because I've been writing multiple series at the same time for, I don't know, all my life. So that's not necessarily even a concern really. It's just more so like common sense says not to do it, right? That's the common answer. If you were to talk to a writer, they'd say, don't do that. But I don't think that necessarily is universal advice or even necessarily good advice. In fact, the more I think about it, the more it seems like the right thing to do to have just multiple series to work on at the same time. Because you're working on like multiple different aspects of your writing on that finished polish form. And that's one of the parts of the cycle, is having that finished polish form be good as well. Like, obviously you should always have multiple stories you're writing at any given time, but to take those stories all the way to completion and have them in various different sizes and styles and formats, I think is powerful and works to help with that pushing across the final stage. And I feel like the more I work on some of these things, the faster and better I'm going to be at doing them. So I think the more I put on the plate, the more I'm able to actually handle what's on there already. So doing something like starting a 3rd series or even a 4th series, I don't think is that problematic. In fact, I think it's overall beneficial. And it makes me kind of wonder why other people don't do that, why this doesn't seem quite as common. I know a lot of authors will start like a series that's like their baby, and they'll work on that a little bit, and then they'll take a break and work on different series in the meantime. And they'll still kind of be working on their baby on the side, but that's like more so an attachment, right? That's more so they want to make this thing perfect or make this thing as good as they can because it's like their first real thing they're doing. And like, I understand that perfectly well. It's just that I don't see how that could be the only factor leading into why it's commonplace for like a lot of authors to be working on like one series at a time, and maybe like one side series, and maybe once in a while some one-shots. That feels like limited, and I don't think good. I feel like I'm going in circles here, but I also feel like I'm kind of dancing around some of the main points as well. I don't think it's a bad idea to start a 3rd series when 2 are already in the works. I think it's a good idea. The more I think about it, the better idea it becomes. And like, more importantly, I almost feel like it's more in line with like what my goals as an artist are. Because the goals aren't just like to make a good work. I mean, that is part of it, but it's to make multiple good works. So if I'm making multiple good works at the same time, that's better, right? I'm very tired. I don't know what I'm saying. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I hear. I'm recording the YouTube video because this is what I do. I'm a YouTube boy. I make the YouTube videos. I make the YouTube videos on the other make the YouTube videos. I could make good content, but I can't because I'm very tired and I don't know what to do. I don't know what to say, and I don't want to make good content. I just want to make bad content. I just only want to make bad content. That's my stick from now on. My shtick is to only make bad content. That's my new era 2020 bad content on the way. That's all I'm going to do. All I'm going to do is everyday bad content. 20 years bad content. Just you, me on the audience. You mean the non-existent audience. The people, you mean you. Yes, you right there who's listening right now. This is you and me, 55 years of bad content. That's all we're going to get. This new era, you and me. Let's go.